What's poppin', ladies and gents? You guys are now linked into House of Harlem Studio, and I am your host, Kia L. As you all know, in the room is my hitter, Shaka L. Bay. Shout out to all the moderators. And last but not least, my bro Waji will be in the chat room later on, sooner than later. Today is just, information day. I love these days. Not to say I don't love doing my interviews, but I love these days because I like to engage in great conversations to figure out what the bluck is going on in the world. So we'll let the room fill in for a little while. We have much to talk about. Much to talk about. First responders is not having it here in New York City. Tomorrow, I believe, is their last day to decide whether or not they're going to get the mandate. There's a whole bunch going on, okay? Pfizer is stating that they're ready for their slab jabbers to be approved for 5 years old and up. There are now new flight restrictions, international restrictions. The former New York City governor has to turn himself in.
Yeah,
There's a lot to speak about, and last but not least, the most importantly, the big topic of all topics is why is the transgender community mad at Mr. Dave Chappelle. What in the world is going on? We want to know what sentence. I need you guys to call in, the transgender community to call in and let us know, why are you guys mad? Which part in his last comedy show did y'all get mad at? I want to know which line. Which line made you get mad? Which line made you feel like he is discriminating against you guys?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What line is, what line was the go to line? And we also want to bring to light that the United States has just issued its first passport with the X gender. Who and what the X gender is, I don't know.
Well, we got to do some little
But
research.
we definitely want to, broach that topic and see what y'all think about it. See if y'all know anything. Maybe the community has some insight that y'all can give us, so we can give to the people that don't know. So we got quite a few things we want to jump on as far as discussing, and as usual, shout out to the chat. Shout out to our moderator, Wiz, is in the building. You know what I'm saying? On deck. And we want to, we want y'all to let us know something, because maybe we missed a memo or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe
You know what I'm
so.
saying? So let's talk that talk.
There's so much to speak about today. There's so much to speak about. We have quite a few to speak about. We have some videos to play, and we have some conversations that needs to be had. Yes, and so we do not discriminate against any sex, race, or religion here on this platform, but we are going to be talking about the craziness with the transgender community, and we're going to give our opinion about it, and whoever doesn't like it within that community, oh well.
Right, because the last time I checked, the Constitution said you have free speech out in this motherfucker. So let's not get it twisted. Because if you don't have free speech, I mean, they're already taking your rights away with other issues in other areas.
And I think
You
that
know
may
what I'm
be
saying?
the problem.
Yeah, but don't think that we amongst each other are not going to be able to express ourselves and voice our opinions. If you mad, you'll get over it.
It's very interesting because it's like one group of people's rights are now valid, and I'm all for it, and it's being known and thrown out there. But for some odd reason, another group of people they have no rights anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like they've been demoted for some apparent reason. And the group that I'm talking about is the heterosexual group. They still do exist. You guys know that, right? And so now, since I'm big on this word balance, we're going to have to figure some things out. But it's very interesting that no one has more rights than this community. And it's very interesting. But shout out to people within that community who really take the opportunity to see exactly what's going on and see how much of a role that is being pretty much they're part of the propaganda, and they are aware of what's going on, especially when it comes to protecting our children and for them to just live and grow and have fun and whatever decisions that they want to make once they reach their adulthood. We're okay with that. And so shout out to those people within that community who are open to having a discussion, a real discussion based off of facts, and agreeing to what is going on. So if the shoe don't fit, y'all know the saying, right? Oh, not that one.
The shoe don't fit. Fuck it.
He said you must have quit.
You must have quit.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll take that one. We'll take that one. So, yeah. Don't get caught in your feelings. We're just gonna have a discussion because I want to say from what I learned or heard within that video. I did watch it. It was very funny. It was very sad. It wasn't very enlightening, and it was very informative. There are some things that I didn't know that he presented, and those are the things that we do want to speak about and, you know, bring to light. And so it's very important. It's very important that these conversations could be had and not people feel some type of way. So we're just let people come in. Health is wealth, as you guys know. I am drinking my juice, okay? I'm going to advertise these people. We've been rocking with them for a while. I like their juicing. It's called Juke Box, okay? Here in Harlem. Juke Box in Harlem. This particular drink is called a Slim Down, and it has lemon, lime. What else does it have in here in the Slim Down? Do you know the ingredients? Oh man, I do apologize, you guys. I wish I knew what the ingredients were. I believe it has grapefruit, lemon, lime. I know it has the lemon and the lime because, you know, that's my favorite. It may have some ginger, and just call it Slim Down, I guess, because it just burns the fat. That's all. That's all. Peace to the gods and goddesses. We have so much to talk about. OMG. The Cuomo has to turn himself in. My. Okay? And what's this? Governor Kathy Hochul. She has a lot of protests in front of her mansion this morning. The FDNY is, you know, they ain't nothing to play with. They was like, hold up. Oh, no. You got us messed up. You got us all the way messed up. I'm like, what? Not even the hospital workers went hard like this. Let me tell you something, man. FYI, tomorrow is supposed to be the last day for them to make a decision for this mandate, right? That is not constitutional. Y'all already know who've ever been listening to us, but they're walking in on Monday. They're not playing. They still going to work, and it's very interesting as to the backup plan that the mayor and governor has in place to kind of like fill the void of some of them that may not be coming in tomorrow or whatever. I need to be at the fire department, one of the fire department stations, because I really want to see firsthand what are they going to do. They were instructed to come in on Monday, ignore the mandate, and work like they've normally been doing. I don't blame them.
And they said they coming in. They said, yeah, we dare you to send us home. We dare you to send us home.
They a whole kind of beast, man. Let me find out. They showing more balls than the police department. What's going on?
Yeah. They like, yeah, send us home if you want to. See what happens.
Playing.
Watch this city go up in smoke.
The police department is, you know, I'm surprised with the FDNY.
Well, the FD, you know what it is? The thing is, you have all of these people in the, you know, early on when people didn't were just getting, acquainted, you know what I'm saying, with this whole pandemic. And these people you had, and you had the police, you had the hospitals, the doctors and the nurses, you had the fire departments, which includes EMS services, because the EMS in New York is part of the fire department.
Absolutely.
You know,
They have their
so
own EMS.
you have all of these people. You have municipal workers. You know what I'm saying? The bus drivers, the trade people. The train drivers, the train conductors. You have a lot of people who kind of are the bloodline of the city, where
Absolutely.
they allow things. They are how people are able to do what they do,
Mm-hmm.
in one form or another. They were out there
My
doing
apology.
what they were doing with no um um uh, uh no slab of jab in sight.
Right. So they've been working from the very beginning to now, right, to current. They've been working when there was no slabber jabbers even available. And it's just really sickening to hear the government give them a mandate when they worked through everything, and most haven't gotten sick. And if so, there were very little. I think that, I don't know what the percent is. We'll read the statistics on it because I don't want to speak too fast. But they bottom line is they worked throughout the whole course of this pandemic. And for the governor and mayor to come up here and just dismiss all of that and make a mandate that you have the right to say yes or no to is very interesting to me. I will never, ever, 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 ever back up from that. And whomever has an issue with that, or is trying to come and say that I'm misleading anyone, you bring your facts. Because we've been on the CDC website. We've been on the FDA's website, okay, the NIH website. We've listened to very credible doctors out there, nurses out there. And let me tell you something. I have my common sense. My common sense is still intact, okay? There's no way. These people have never cared for me and my health. So all the incentives that they've been throwing out to get this is a super red flag to me. But what's even more alarming is the fact that the nurses and doctors, some of them are not going to take it. And we're talking about these people work in this medical field. They were trained by these scientists. They believe in science. So these are the people who are coming forth and saying something is wrong from a very small scale, because, to my understanding, they're putting their lives at risk to come out and really speak about what's going on. But that's not a red flag to you? Okay, these people are not just new resident doctors. They've been in the field for years, okay? They've been studying science and been working in the hospital for years, okay? We have people who have PhDs who believe in the slabber jabber, believe in the science, but they're telling you this is a different type of beast. So why is it that their voices are not allowed to be heard? And why is it that something that is only approved by an emergency authorization, and it still is, okay, and you could I have a school document stating that it is, so you can't tell me nothing else, okay, from the city, right? Because at the end of the day, Commonality, or whatever the name of this new name that was approved, is not actual Pfizer, okay? And so these things are not being approved. You have senators who are coming forth and saying, look, this doesn't make any sense. So I will always use my common sense.
You got governors, you got all different kinds of people. I mean, and this whole this whole situation is is almost like a psych out. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
It's a psych. It's like, yo, such and such and such psych. Oh you did it anyway. Oh, okay. Well then, okay, that's cool. But it really is. There's nothing written in stone,
That is the
or
part that I
there's
was going to.
nothing right. Is nothing written on parchment paper. I should
Nothing.
say.
Nothing written in law. All of this is being spoken on a media station, but there's nothing written on paper. Nothing in law. All of these mandates, all of these findings about how bad this stuff is, nothing is written on paper. So you are literally being bullied. That is the only word that I can use, and I don't really feel comfortable using that word on this platform.
Yeah.
But
And
and
unfortunately, the way it looks, you know, just we just have to usher in the era of human 2.0.
absolutely.
This is the year of the upgrade.
So much. So let's get into some of the information. All right. Do you want to play the video first, or should we just pull up some articles and read them? Because the governor has to turn himself in. He has to get fingerprinted. He is facing up to a year in jail. On a light side community work. Right. So Let's get into that. That's breaking news.
Yeah.
He is the woman who is. We're also going to speak about the Trump's new network, right? He has created a platform that will be going up pretty soon and asking people to sign up for it. And I want you guys' opinion about it. When I went on there, it didn't ask. It just asked to just sign up, but it didn't ask for a fee. So I want to know, do you guys, if there was a fee, do you think it is worth going on there? He claims that this platform will be censored in any way, shape, or form. People will be able to express themselves and put forth whatever information they want to. But my thing is, suppose somebody come up there and start talking trash about him. You know what I'm saying? Do you cut them off? Because I would if it was my platform.
Shut the mic
I
off.
think within his guidelines it says that. You know how it is.
Turn them off.
But let me keep on track. Let's go to this Governor Cuomo Kuhn, okay?
Yeah, Governor Cuomo.
Former Governor Kuhn and the new governor Kathy Hochul is just another Kuhn, okay?
Kathy.
We'll find
Governor
a word.
Governor Kathy. Who cares?
Who cares? Okay, that's where you go. I knew we would find something for her, but go ahead. Let's read this.
Okay, it says, and this is according to one of the major news outlets, right? It says Andrew Cuomo charged with forcible touching, a misdemeanor sex crime. A criminal summons has been issued for Cuomo to appear in court on November 17th in Albany, based off of the complaint from a county sheriff up there. Mm-hmm. It says the criminal complaint alleges that Cuomo placed his hand under the blouse of the victim and onto her intimate body part, quote unquote, for purposes of degrading and gratifying his sexual desires. The incident allegedly occurred on December 7th, 2020 at the governor's mansion. The charge is a Class A misdemeanor, which is punishable up to a year.
Do y'all think he's
or
gonna get
3
that year
years
done?
probation.
You think he's gonna get that year? But go ahead.
A criminal summons has been issued for Cuomo to appear. Boom, boom, boom. It says Apple said that his agency went to the court Thursday with evidence for the court to determine the most appropriate legal pathway for the investigation into Cuomo. But Albany County District Attorney David Suarez, whose office would prosecute the case, said he was surprised to learn the county sheriff office had filed the complaint. He declined further comment.
No comment.
He ain't want to talk about it. Then it goes to say, lastly,
Let's talk about his attorney and what they're stating. But go ahead.
lastly, it says Cuomo attorney Rita Glavin said her client never assaulted anyone, quote unquote.
Happened.
But they don't. Neither one of them know what the hell's going on.
Right.
Quote: Sheriff Apple didn't even tell the
Sheriff
district.
who?
Sheriff Apple.
Okay.
Sheriff Craig D. Apple Sr. Craig D. Apple.
His mama named him Apple.
Yeah.
You're the apple of my eye.
Said didn't even tell the district attorney what he was doing. Glavin said, "This is not professional law enforcement. This is politics." Wow.
But isn't everything politics?
Wow.
Who is the young lady who allegedly has brought these charges up against him? Let's see if we can get her name. Because a long story short, in their defense, they're stating that she's only doing this because she is planning on running for what? I think she's running for governor.
Yeah.
And she wanted to bring some attention to herself. And this is the only reason why she's making these false allegations against him, allegedly. But they may not make mention of that on this article in particular. But that's what it is in a nutshell. And that's their defense. She's doing this because she is planning on running.
And according to the New York State Attorney General Letitia James.
Oh, Letitia James.
In August, she alleged that Cuomo had sexually harassed or inappropriately touched 11 women, including an executive assistant who described being groped at the governor's mansion. That shit must have been a brothel.
Talking about woman power, huh?
That shit was a brothel.
Somebody forced or paid Letitia James to go up there and make that statement because it was only until she came up and brought it to light charges were actually pressed against him and he was able to go to jail, I believe. Not go to jail, excuse me. Able to be turning himself in pretty soon for fingerprints. But go ahead.
Now, what happened, it says the woman identified as Executive Assistant 1 in the James report, her name is Brittany Camiso. And they said she went public with her identity in the days after it was issued and filed the complaint with the Albany Sheriff Office. So I believe that's the woman who brought this complaint to the public, Brittany Camiso.
All right now, Brittany.
So
let's see what goes on.
Yeah, it's life ain't gonna be, ain't gonna be too good for you,
Brittany.
If you let them have their way. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be real situation. Now, my question to y'all out there is this a pattern, or would you say that this is some type of situation where people in power feel entitled and they think that they have the type of Teflon that would allow them to do something like that? Like, what do y'all think about that? What's y'all thoughts on that? Because this is a situation, you have entertainers, you have politicians, you you have all of these different people. You got uh, 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 media anchors. You know, all of these people don't know how to keep their hands to themselves. You know what I'm
It is.
saying? So
It's
I'm trying to figure out
it's
are they
repetitive.
all did they all go to the same high school or something?
Yes,
You
they
know,
did. They went to the Let's Touch Feel on High School, allegedly. It's repetitive. It's just very common. It's very common since the beginning of time. I believe I read something like that all the way down to former President George Washington. This has been going on since the beginning of time. There is nothing new. Let's not forget that, Governor Cuomo is also charges were being pressed against him in regards to allegedly killing a lot of elders in a nursing home during the highest peak of the COVID outbreak, so they say. So it's very interesting as you start to follow a trail. It's very, very interesting that this alleged sexual allegation pops up right in the midst of him being blamed for I can't say that word. You know what I'm saying? So that is very interesting to me. That is very interesting to me. Um, former President Trump. What is the name of his? Let's see, Truth.
it's Truth Social, where you can tell the truth and not be censored.
And I be what?
Censored.
Well, let's read an article about this.
That's what they are claiming.
This is a hot topic. A lot of people are for it. When I went on Twitter, a lot of censorship was happening because you only got to see the opposite side. But my question to you guys is, before even reading it, he's claiming that you can't be censored, right? You won't be censored, right? You have the right to express yourself and explain what it is that you have researched. But at the same time, I'm just trying to figure out shit like some type of censorship has to happen because at the end of the day, you're not going to get up on my platform and talk about me. But do y'all feel like he is trying to swindle? If he does charge people, is he trying to make more money? Or do you think he has enough?
No, I think that he personally is trying to get the people who have insight, people who are actually doing research, like our family in the building here.
Absolutely.
People that really have their ear to the concrete and can give insight on one topic or another. It's the censorship game is real. It's real right now. You can't do this here, you can't do that there. You can't even make decisions about your own body. So the censorship is coming at everybody. It's coming at everybody from all directions for a plethora of reasons. So if you can create a platform, now there's other platforms that don't really chin check you when you say certain things or have certain opinions.
There are.
There are quite a few.
Not quite a few. Very small.
I mean, there's a few. Let's say there's two or three. Let's say
I would say three that I can
right.
I can think
There's
of.
about two or three that you can go on there, voice your opinion, get information that others will suppress.
Absolutely.
And there is a place for this. There is a necessity for this type of thing. There's a necessity for getting people's real views out about whatever. Like, come on, we to kind. I don't want to really bring it up before you want
Let's
to,
read. Let's read a
but
little bit
yeah.
about it. This is according to Reuters.com. Los Angeles, October. Reuters. Former U.S. President Donald Trump will launch his own social media app. It's going to be called Truth Social. I kind of like the name. That he said would stand up to big tech companies such as Twitter. You know what that's all about, and Facebook that have barred him from their platform. True Social will be created through a new company formed by a merger of the Trump Media and Technology Group and a special acquisition company called SPAC. SPAC acronyms. According to a press release distributed by both organizations, and this is what they stated: we live in a world where the Taliban has a huge presence on Twitter, yet your favorite American president, that sounds like Trump, the ego, has been silenced. This is unacceptable, Trump said in a writing statement included in the release. I am excited to send out my first truth on Truth Social very soon. TMTG was founded with a mission to give a voice to all, and I'm excited to soon begin sharing my thoughts on truth, social, and to fight back against big tech, he said. And the social network set for a better launch next month, which I believe November, and full and rollout in the first quarter of 2022, and is the first 3 stages in the company's plan, followed by a scription video. You have to do a scription video on demand service called TMTG that will feature entertainment, news, and podcasts, according to the new release. In a slide deck on its website, the company envisions eventually competing against Amazon.com, AWS, Cloud Service, and Google Cloud. A Trump representative who declined to be named, very interesting, confirmed the contents of the because your life is in danger, TMTG news released to Reuters. To Reuters. Trump spokesperson Liz Harrington also tweeted a copy. I don't comprehend that part. But I'm not going to read on what I'm going to read this part. For so long, big tech has suppressed conservative voices. Okay, the former president's son, Donald Trump Jr., told Fox News in an interview tonight, my father signed a definitive merger agreement to form what will ultimately be Trump's media and technology group and Truth Social, a platform for everyone to express their feelings. Twitter, Facebook, and the other social media platforms banned former President Trump from their services after hundreds of his supporters rioted at the Capitol on January 6th. So I'll leave it there. So basically, that is what their intent is. Are you for it or not? I would like to know if you guys are for it. I don't know. They haven't mentioned in the both of the readings that I've read from that there's going to be a fee for that. I personally will tell you off the bat, hell yeah, I'm going to be on there. I already signed up for the little email listing thing or whatever they have going on. You definitely do want to be on platforms where you have freedom of speech, right? Just like supposedly the Constitution is a damn shame that he's creating an app. He should have called it the Constitution, Truth Constitution. So what do you guys? Are you for it? And if there is a fee, what do y'all think about that? You know that he is a very wealthy person, right? Hopefully, that's what they're saying. He's a very wealthy person, and he has been censored, so it does make sense, right? He's been cut off all those platforms, so that kind of makes sense to me. What do you guys think about it? Shout out to the chat.
Yeah.
You can read what they're saying in the chat room.
they were saying to the question, uh, early on, they were speaking the fact that it was entitlement. You know what gives these guys the notion that they can go and do this? Big
And
ego, power, and position.
okay, so they're speaking about
Well,
the
yeah,
mandate.
no. The touchy feely.
Mm,
You know
mm,
what I'm saying?
yeah, that
All of
part.
these people getting, and there's only two people that really did some time for it. You got Weinstein, and you got Bill Cosby. You know what I'm saying?
Mm, mm,
I
mm.
mean, R. Kelly's situation is a whole different thing. That is
Very.
just
They did.
that's
They're under.
psychological, and that's a whole nother type of situation.
Right.
Um, but then they talked about that, and then they mentioned. Well,
Hmm.
yeah, that was about it. Everybody shouting everybody out in the room. Shout out to y'all. Big ups to
Shout
the
out to you.
chat.
Thank
Make
you.
sure you hit that like button.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? And if you have not subscribed, please do that.
We definitely will be up in front, just waiting to see the outcome of what the FDNY will present. With the protest, and also like I said, they about their business. We definitely want y'all to stay
Yeah,
tuned and
yeah,
get
it's a
into the
whole
topic
pack.
of this whole Dave Chappelle shenanigans. Also, if you guys don't know, there was a protest for Kyrie. All right. I'm kind of iffy. The Black Lives Matter and some other corporations did protest for him, and says that he has a right to not want to take the slabber jabber. My prayers go out to him. I hope that he stand on his ground, because he is an indigenous person who, is a very religious person. If you have gone on his social media platforms, I think he's part of it. He is a tribe, but I don't know what his tribe is, but he definitely has everything on his Instagram. But I just want to, I want to mention this. This came across my news feed, and this is very interesting. I don't know if y'all all heard of Sitting Bull, right? Sitting Bull. Sitting Bull's great grandson identified through DNA fragments. I mean, like, it's beyond me. And a living descendant of the famed Lakota leader Sitting Bull has been confirmed using a novel technique for analyzing fragments of the historic figure's DNA. Now, why would it's beyond me. Excuse me. Scientists were able to trace family lineage from the ancient DNA to verify that the 73-year-old Ernie LaPonte of South Dakota is the Sitting Bull's great grandson and closest living descendant. And the finding, published Wednesday in the journal Science Advance, so you guys can go to the journal Science Advance and read about it, will likely help LaPonte in his long-standing fight to move the Lakota leaders' remains from their current burial site in the Mombridge, South Dakota, to a location he said is more cultural relevance for his great grandfather, Eski Willerselv, a professor of ecology and evolution at the University of Cambridge, said his research normally focuses on piecing together the ancient DNA to understand human genetics, diversity, and how different groups of people around the world are similar and distant. But he couldn't pass up the opportunity to study Sitting Bull's DNA. Now, I bring that up to say that it's just very interesting that this information comes out right when the melanated family was granted their land back in California, I believe, a part of California's beach, or Manhattan's beach in California. And I'm just saying to myself, like, what do we have to do our research about these people? Because a lot of these people are not 100% native, and once again they get to reap the benefits of this land, and while a group of people don't. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense to me, but I felt like it was a need for you guys to know a little bit more about that. How many of you guys watched the Dave Chappelle um, comedy special, the last comedy he did? That comedy was on Netflix, right? That's where we watched it at, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's called The Closer.
I wish I could play some parts of it. Hilarious.
Yeah, no. They need to just go see it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they definitely need to go see it. I mean, if you guys have seen it, I definitely want to have a discussion about it because it's, like I stated earlier today, it was funny, okay? I don't think it was his best work. I'm not, I don't really follow him like that, but I've seen some of his work. Definitely not his best work. 1,000% I can say he was definitely making a message and prepared for the backlash. But just, you got to remember, I think he was just granted his money that was owed to him for years. And I hope that Kyrie stand on his ground because he will reap the benefits later on. It was very informative to me. It was a lot that I did not know took place and that was going on with the LGBT community. And I don't know, I'm going to read an article because they are fighting so hard. They, meaning the LGBT headliners, all right? I don't even think that the people who consider themselves part of that community really know what's going on. I feel like they are as much as they're in the propaganda as much as everyone else is. But and they don't, for the most part, the little people in that community don't know what the hell they protesting for. Once the big dogs say bark, they just bark. They don't know what the hell they're protesting for.
Yeah, that's
at this point. But let's have a discussion with that. So you want to talk more about it? I'll just pull up the article. It's just mind blowing to me.
I want to just kind of give just a perspective on the kind of world we're living in today, right? You have here, there was a felony. There was a felony on a homeless man who was 43 cents short on a bottle of Mountain Dew.
I don't want to laugh.
What's really good?
My apologies, guys.
Nah, we gonna laugh today, cause this shit is hilarious.
I'm chewing gum.
So now what happened was there was a felony on a man. He was facing some jail time.
A felony.
Some serious jail time, and somebody came to their senses and dropped it. You know,
Was it the three-strike situation that we had spoke about in the private?
No.
That led him to get a felony for that?
No, not that it doesn't say that here.
Well, that's very interesting.
And this happened in, so y'all can be aware, Pennsylvania.
Good old Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. Good old
It says the
PA.
Perry County District Attorney's Office dismissed a felony charge that was filed against a homeless man after he paid $2 for a Mountain Dew drink that cost $2.29 plus tax.
Ain't no three strikes there.
I'm not gonna get into it like that.
On some real
situations
like that, I wouldn't hesitate to just really sue. At that point, you just have to sue. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. And these are the situations that we face.
And then on top of that, because I'm gonna just go through a couple of things, because this stuff is, you can't make this up. An American Airlines flight was diverted after a passenger physically assaulted a flight attendant. Now, that's more of a serious nature, and that's not something you want to take lightly, because these people are up there to do a job. They're up there to make sure that the safety and the comfort of the passengers on the plane is set, that everybody's accommodated and complying with, please keep your mask on, sir. and all of that
Well,
type of stuff.
it went
Could you
as
please
far
put your mask
as
up? No,
when
put
you're
we need it
eating.
up to right just under your eyelids,
No,
your eyeballs.
when you're eating,
You know.
in certain companies are requiring you to like literally eat and then close your mask, eat and then close your mask, drink and just close your mask, literally. But let me tell
That
you
shit
something.
crazy. Shout out to Waji, the
Shout
co-host Waji in the building. You know.
Let me tell you something. Fights have broken out in midair. I really would like to know how would you guys feel about that, man. Let me tell you, I'm talking about brawls, like several people on each side, something you'll see outside in the street. Like, man, let me tell you. Well, listen, we want to also stick to the topic, right? We have to ask them about this Dave Chappelle situation.
Yeah. Anybody in the transgender community, like, hey, just tap in, give us a little insight, tell us something that we might have missed. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all so mad at my brother Dave? What did he say that really hurt your feelings like that? You know what I'm saying? He basically gave honors to his friend who happens to be a transgender person.
Not only that, well, shout out to Netflix. Okay.
Shout out to Netflix, man.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? They standing up for people's rights nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Come on.
Other people outside of this, right?
Very,
very interesting to me. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
They're going to keep it on?
The people that's supposed to be fighting for your rights is out there trying to suck your rights up through a straw. Out your vein.
Well, let's read this Washington Post, just some of it. Dave Chappelle is once again facing criticism, all right, from some members of the LGBTQ community. And with his latest Netflix special, The Closer, the provocative comedian seems to respond to past accusations of homophobia. And I'm telling y'all got to watch it. Homophobia, because as soon as I hear this, that is a word that he actually mentions on the series. On not on the series, but on the show. And transphobia by Double Down. Who wrote this? He jokes earlier on the baby, who was dropped from music festivals from making misinformed comments about HIV. Punched the LGBTQ community right in the AIDS, and then after saying, who wrote this? And then
I think he said that.
Right, he said that, right?
Yeah.
Then after saying the baby made a mistake, and Chappelle notes that the rapper was once involved in the shooting at Walmart, but for some reason they didn't cut them shows off for that. Nothing bad happened to his career, he said. But do you see where I'm going with this? In our country, you can shoot and kill a N-word, but you better not hurt a gay person's feelings or you're out. So we're not going to get into all of that because they're kind of like just getting excerpts of what he was speaking about there. But the whole point is, like, these people are in an uproar. I will say this. You should, if you haven't seen it, go and see it. But there was a friend that he had, a very dear friend that he mentions a lot in at the end of it. And this person wound up committing, ending their life because the same community got at him or her for defending Dave. So it's like your same community caused you to commit, in your life because he decided to defend Dave because he knew that Dave was a great person. He hung out with him. He said he wasn't the best comedian, but he let him rock. And he realized that he was okay, but he just needed to work on certain things.
Right.
But the whole point was that community led one of their members to end their life. And why y'all in an uproar? Y'all mad because he made mention of that?
Now, this. You ready for it? Yeah, everybody in the room. Y'all sitting down?
He said, no, y'all
Are
y'all
sitting down now?
Y'all listen to this.
Now, check this out. Hold
Dave's
up.
a fool.
Hold hold on. Could we get this is
What are you doing? Switching
right
topics?
On, no, this is right on topic.
Okay.
You ready, ladies and gentlemen?
We're ready.
All right. Caitlyn Jenner defends Dave Chappelle amid Netflix controversy. Quote, Dave Chappelle is 100% right. Now, let me read a little bit of this. Following criticism from the trans community for his perceived transphobic comments in the Netflix special, Caitlyn Jenner has become the latest celebrity to defend comedian Dave Chappelle.
Oh, it's very interesting how they don't say the latest LGBTQ celebrity because, right? But go ahead.
Dave Chappelle is 100% right. The 72-year-old tweeted. Now, this nigga waited till he, that's another story.
Right.
This isn't about the LGBTQ movement.
No, it's not.
It's about woke cancel culture run amok, trying to silence free speech. Shout out to Caitlyn Jenner.
Right. Now that's just speaking the truth. That's what it is.
Now, Jenner added, we must never yield or bow to those who wish to stop us from speaking our minds. I agree 100%.
I mean, I could say so much, but you know what? We'll stay on a positive note. I mean, that's one person from that community who's standing up and just speaking the truth. I want to know.
Now, hold on. I'll mean to cut your wisdom. Jon Stewart, Damon Wayans, and transgender comedian Flame Monroe.
What is this defendants group?
I think they just made a name. These are just people who are supporting Dave and what he did and is defending him and going to bat for him, saying, this is a country of free speech. At the last time I checked, it was, I don't know, did I wake up in a different dimension somewhere?
I believe you did. It's
so
happening.
These people out here, they're out here, going to bat for him.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we get to really see with our eyes and hear with our ears, see what's really going on another level. Now, I know that some people may say, well, it has always been out there. What's been going on has always been out there, but you weren't conscious enough to see it. I agree to that to some extent. But right now, this is on a whole nother level. Like, there's like they were not this exposed like that. They're just exposing everything. They don't give a damn what you think about it is either you're gonna be a part of it or not. Period.
Yeah.
They had a little bit of a curtain behind everything. You know what I mean? But this right here is on a whole nother level.
It really is. It really is. And my thing is, when did any specific group have the power? Because not only are they really going hard like that, one of the articles that I was looking at was an article that Dave had that was about Dave has another special that he's going around on the movie festival circuit and submitting it. He's been invited to these festivals to play his movie. Now, after all of this happened, you have some of these festivals who basically uninvited him. They uninvited this guy. You know what I'm saying? Distributors and different people are kind of backing away from him to the point where he has to do his own 10-city tour to screen this movie. And this thing is called Untitled.
Well, put it like this. He was prepared for it.
Right, because
He
he
was
came
prepared
back.
for it.
He came right back with the next one, and
He was prepared.
I'm
He
almost
said,
certain that this next one is gonna be crazy.
it's gonna be crazy. He said, I dropped the mic. Like, I ain't having it. But look at what's happening now. There seems to be a transition happening in regards to this because Netflix decided to keep him up. They didn't care how many protests it was. Now you have people from that community backing him up. And I'm happy to see that transition because now it to me is balance. You know what I'm saying? It's not just all about okay, this group of people. We get it. You guys were I don't know oppressed for many years. Obama signed some law. Y'all good now. You are good now. You can relax. All right. Be who you are.
Yeah, one of your own came to bat for you. So what you mad at?
Right.
What you so mad about? Obama
point,
came to bat for you. You know what I'm saying? He said, "Let's do this, honey," and you know what I mean.
You're good. So there's no need to. There's really no need for all of this stuff. Every little thing, you know, you want to protest. Certain things is definitely worth protesting for. But have you guys heard that the feminist movement is kind of like butting heads with the LGBTQ community? Have you ever heard about that?
All right. These alter ego communities are about to go to war with each other. Right. You know what I'm saying? The LGBT, you know, the feminist movement, BLM, Antifa, they're going to all do a battle royale. We need to get Dana White, get all these motherfuckers in out there in Vegas, and let them start smacking each other around. Whoever is standing is the winner.
Hey, we gotta be careful how we say that. We don't condone any violence. But let me.
No. This is all in fun. This is all in fun. Or they could, you know what I'm saying? They could, what's that? They could oil wrestle. Let them oil wrestle.
That don't sound good.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? None of this shit sound good, right. But I'm just out there. I'm just throwing suggestions.
Well, for a man, I can see you saying, you know, or you wrestle with other women. But there are a lot of terms out here, and I don't know if you guys are aware of it. A cisgender. Have you ever heard of this before? Cisgender. A cisgender. That is... and then you can read this passport information, right, with this X thing. But a cisgender, sometimes a cissexual, or shortened to cis, C-I-S, describes a person whose gender identity is the same as their sex assigned at birth. So the word cisgender is the antonym for transgender. And the prefix cis is not an acronym or abbreviation of any word, but it is derived from the Latin meaning on the side of. Huh? Why must things be so complicated? In a nutshell, that just sounds like you are male or you are female. You're born. You know what? Things are getting very complicated. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that term. Someone had the nerve to write in a comment section that, you know, just because he's a heterosexual cisgender doesn't give y'all the right to bash him in regards to some story on Facebook. I'm like, what? What the hell is a heterosexual cisgender? Huh? So let's go into this passport thing. Do you have the article? I stated this before, and I stated that even the old school, we can say gay, right? The old school gay people are confused. Okay, things shouldn't be this complicated. You know, being attracted to the same sex is nothing new under the sun. Right? They did have some discriminations. Women had discriminations. Men had discriminations. Race had discriminations. But it wasn't this complicated. And I'm not for it. I'm not for it at all. Okay? You cannot tell me that you give birth to a child who's clearly show outside of being a hermaphrodite, right? That would be something different, but clearly shows
Totally different.
your the sex of the child, and now is the X. I mean, how do you guys feel about that? And even in the hermaphrodites case, they would look at what internal organs they have to pretty much determine what that person was, right? Because you have ovaries, that means you can have a baby, although you may have a long stick down there, and that's how you can pretty much determine on your reproductive system, right? So even with that, there was some science to that. Why are things so complicated? I'm an X-sex, cisgender, heterosexual. What? How do you even put the word heterosexual in front of cisgender? Help me break this down.
I am a robotic human being. I am
a robotic sex hetero LGB.
I am a robotic
X.
sex general cis general corporal LGBT general 3-star admirable.
He is acting out right now.
All right, so check
it's
it.
serious.
So now we have, according to AP News, it says the United States has issued its first passport with an X gender designation, marking a milestone in the recognition of the rights of people who do not identify as male or female, and expects to be able to offer the option more broadly next year. The state Dana Zim, an intersex activist from Fort Collins, Colorado, told
Another
the Associated Press.
Intersex.
Word, I can't keep up with these shits.
Okay, I'm sorry to cut your wisdom.
A telephone interview that they received it since 2015. Zim, who prefers a gender-neutral pronoun, has been in a legal battle with the State Department to obtain a passport that did not require Zim to lie about gender or picking either male or female. Now this, let me keep reading. Zim picked up the UPS package with the passport after getting an early morning text and phone call from their lawyer, Paul Castillo, that it had arrived. Zim has stayed up late celebrating Intersex Awareness Day with 2 visiting activists. Now, Zim is 63 and said it was thrilling to finally get the passport. The goal was to help the next generation of intersex people win recognition as full citizens with rights rather than travel the globe. Rather than travel the globe.
Definition: intersex is a general term used for a variety of situations in which a person is born with a reproductive or sexual anatomy that doesn't fit the boxes of female or male. Yeah.
Come on, man.
I don't know what could I say in response to all these terms without defending anyone. Like,
this shit is really
what
getting
are we
out
doing?
of hand.
Like, what are we doing? All right, what are we doing? And the biggest issue for me in regards to all of this is, okay, as an adult, you want to do what you want to do, fine. But when you start to try to put this madness into schools, into 5-year-olds, then that's a very big issue for me. You know, let those children be. They can decide to be X. Now, mind you, isn't Malcolm X created X? I hope it's copywritten, because very interesting how they keep taking our stuff, and yet this is another way where we create and it's being taken from us. Right. But I digress.
And turned on its side, the way that they're using it and using it to identify someone. Now there are clearly 2 genders in this plane of existence. Now, people are getting mixed up between what your sexual preference is and your gender. You know, one thing that was said, that even if you become a transgender, your DNA is going to always describe you as the gender you were born with. even if you change sides. You know, now I don't say this to deter or undermine anybody's viewpoint on it. You know, I don't have any issues with any of these communities. As long as you're allowing me to speak freely, then I feel I will allow you to speak freely too. But don't try to undermine my opinion because I have one and you don't agree with it. I don't really care. You know what I mean? Because anybody that feels slighted or feels like they've been unjustly characterized, you know what I'm saying? You need to get over it, because unless a person calls you out by name, it's really speaking in an introspective way, and it's speaking on general terms.
Very general.
So go sit down,
Have several seats.
go get you a mojito or something,
Mojito
and chill.
and chill.
Don't get ill.
CNN a week or two ago, I believe, goes first 2 weeks of October, so in October, without any program reaching 1 million viewers. So they're not having any programs like that. Very interesting, Donnie. No programs whatsoever. And they're still pushing. Pfizer claims they are ready for the vaccines for the young children, ages 5 and up. And they're planning on having little centers within the schools to provide for the parents to get the opportunity to give their child the slabber jabber. And I have a question. I know that some people feel like it's going to save a life, but I'm wondering, do the people who believe in it and feel like it's going to save your life or save you from, ascending, is it do you agree for the children to take it? Right? I've spoken to someone and they say, you know what, I took it, but I definitely wouldn't allow my child to take it. So I want to know, what do you guys think about that? Do you feel like the children should take it? Y'all already know my stance, but I like to have input from people out there to see what's going on and to really see the mindset of people. They're definitely rolling out the red carpet. They're still going to move forward with it. And yet there's already been a protest with the fire department. They're not playing. All right, the police department is not playing. November 1st, their deadline. Tomorrow, I believe, is their last day, although they said they're still coming in active to work. And mind you, they will be 20% short-staffed if, people, up to 20%, if people decide not to participate in this mandate. Although they've worked throughout the whole almost going on 2 years, no issues, no problems. So people, I just want to know, y'all letting these babies go and get these slabber jabbers, and what y'all gonna do? What are you guys going to do? It's very, very. I just got to keep praying at this point. They are literally having these babies out here, and I know that some people, just kind of like was bullied into doing it through their job and really didn't want to do it. Not some, a large amount of people. So will they feel that way with their children? My message to you is, at this point, stand up for your babies. If you do not believe in this, stand up for your babies. And even if you do believe in it, do you really want something experimental in your baby's bloodstream? Let it in there. You know what I'm saying? Do some research. Question it. Ask them, are they going to be responsible in the event that something happens? Like, What in the hot pancakes is going on here?
All right, so let's get to the chat.
Let's get to the chat.
Big ups to the chat. Let me type that in right
Big
quick.
ups to chat. We have some people who want to call in. I'm sorry if anyone's texting me. I'm not really looking directly at my phone, on the messenger part of things. But
Yeah,
things
yeah.
are about to go down. Let me tell you something. It's real. I can't get over how the FD and NY gives it up. They ain't playing. And it's a breath of fresh air for me, in my opinion. So now these rollouts are happening. A lot of things are coming out. A lot of information is coming out, and it's the pot is boiling. The pot is definitely boiling. There are a lot of whistleblowers out here who are not playing. Some people are just not going to give in. Some people are. There has to be a plan in place. All right. The mayor of New York City states how he's going to handle it is if people don't give their arm out tomorrow, on November 1st, he is going to have mandatory overtime. Now, according to the federal law, I believe you can't work but so many hours, consecutively. You can't. You can't work so many hours. And there is also state laws in regards to that. So how are you going to have a mandatory overtime? Do y'all see where this is going? But in the meantime, I got to show you this meme Eugenio had posted. Hilarious, okay? Now, y'all remember those shipments, those boats that came in, right? That's sitting at sea right now. We supposed to be getting our supplies.
That shit was funny.
We were getting our supplies. Well,
that was some funny
this
shit.
This is really what's going on. Black Friday, this thing tickled me. Can you please put this up to the camera for me? Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yes.
Thank you, God. Appreciate you. So Black Friday lineup for Black Friday deals this year is like boom. Everybody got to swim out to the cargo and go get your go get your sales because they're not trying.
It's on you, player.
Over 100 and something.
It's on you. If you ain't got no fins, you ain't got no wins.
You gotta swim out to sea and get your deals.
Word up. No fins, no wins.
Yo, look, hey Finn, make sure that box don't get wet. Those are electronics.
All right. Real talk.
That's hilarious.
Real talk.
That is hilarious.
I'm gonna put the
I need my people to call in. Yes.
The call in number.
Thank you.
Let's get this thing going.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get y'all.
People are gonna swim out.
People.
And let me tell you something, man. The deal gotta be real good to be swimming out there.
Shit, I think I would bet you to say that shit free $99.
Oh man. I'm telling you, it gets no funnier than that, boy. That tops the whole year right there. You literally got to go out there and you have to do that. So now, today's protest in New York City was right in front of the mayor's house here in New York City. The fire department, was out there for hours. They were instructed, a lot of them. They like, I'm going in. So I don't know if there's going to be any protests going on after the fact, but Monday is going to be very interesting. Monday's going to be very interesting. So New Yorkers, with all that's going on, I had a conversation with a young lady at a health store, and she said that it's not really inflation happening. It's just that they have all the damn supplies at sea because we didn't learn our lesson to grow our own stuff and not have to demand on outsourcing. But because of that, the price of gas is going up sky high. Food, there's going to be a food shortage, right? There are going to be some things that are going to be happening, and we have to be in preparation for it. We have to be in preparation for it, and just take a mental note. Also, the IRS now is making a mandate for banks to report any to report what you have in your bank account, pretty much $600 or more. I'll read the article about that. Someone enlightened me on TD Bank being some type of bank, and they don't have to pretty much comply with that. I don't believe that that's a law, but these are some of the things that you need to look out for as we're moving forward. Prepare yourself to get water, some rice, some beans, just certain necessities to have. If you want to go deeper into what you want that you really should be preparing for, then you're going to have to go on a private platform, which is always on Sundays at 4 p.m., and we can talk furthermore about that. You could put your email in the comment section below, and it's free for all. You're going to have to state your name now. We have to start screening people at this point. It's not my platform, but I'm going to put that out there. What your intent is, but if you want to have a community worldwide, this is definitely a community that I go to, and I've been dedicated to for a few years now. But we do have to speak about certain things in preparation for what's to come. All right, there's a lot of protests that are going to be happening. A lot of protests that has been happening for quite some time that a lot of people don't get the opportunity to see. We already know overseas is happening, but what people don't know is right here, the Empire State, man. I don't know where they're getting them numbers from as far as how many people have gotten the slabber jabber, but there are thousands that is not with the BS. So once again, when we're talking about statistics, this is why I'm saying it is being manipulated across the border with so many subject matters, and this is one of many.
Yeah, so if you want to get in on the conversation,
yes, please
call in. The number's on the screen, and let's talk about it. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
You know.
Make sure you always save these videos. As you guys know, this is our second platform. We'll be having a backup platform. We are on Patreon. But we want to focus on getting our own website and getting some things done. So that when that time comes, we'll let you guys know. But save this, because sometimes information is given and you may not know where to go get it from. Always save these daggone things, man, because these people, whew, the community guidelines.
Okay, we got somebody calling in. Hold on.
The slabber jabber. Ain't trying to juke the babies. I'm sorry.
All right.
We have a call.
What up?
Peace. How are you? Peace to everyone. Yes. What's going on? What's your name? Okay. More's for more?
More's for more.
That is very true and kind of surprising to me. But I want to bring something to light. You know, everyone, we have to stand in solidarity with one another. You know, this is we have mentioned on this platform, there's no special privileges anymore when it comes to this agenda with this pandemic. All right, it doesn't matter if you're a doctor, a big scientist. Everyone is involved in this, and because of that, people have to come together. So it's very interesting that these departments out of all people, not even the city workers, are coming forward and like, no, you got me messed up right now, right? So, what do you think about that? What do you think about no special privileges and how now these same people that we've been fighting against all our lives, right, for discrimination and so forth and so on, is now in the same pot as us? What do you think about that?
Hey, J Bay.
Hey, peace. How are you? Was the other caller on the line? More for more?
Let me try to get some more back on.
I'm finished with my juice, guys. Make sure y'all go check out Jukebox. Very interesting.
Yeah.
All right. We have the caller's number, so we're calling him back. Maybe he's gotten disconnected. Can you ask him the question? Because I'm not quite sure if he'll hear me from afar. But right. So my question to you, once again, I do apologize, is that everyone is in the same boat pretty much, right? So now you have certain departments that even we were being discriminated against now fighting for their constitutional rights, right? And isn't that kind of interesting how no one has special privileges here anymore? Everyone is in the same boat. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor, scientist, lawyer, police officer, fire department, human resources worker, civil service worker, everyone, a janitor. It doesn't matter. Everyone is in the same position where they have to fight against their spiritual, religious beliefs, their medical beliefs. Isn't that interesting? Okay. I can hear you.
Both of y'all.
All right, you gotta make sure y'all put the volume down in the background. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Okay. We have a lot of callers coming in. All right, we got some hot topics.
All right, welcome. Hold on.
Right. Okay. So, the other caller, please hold because we got to listen to the first caller. What were you saying? Peace, peace. Yes. Yes.
Is that feedback? The schools have done. They started the gender specific thing that he's an adult. He can go into the boys' bathroom or the girls' bathroom, and a girl can come in the boys' bathroom.
Mm.
Kindergarten, and that they're also teaching masturbation in kindergarten. So I was blown with that, and he's this is coming from a gender, I guess transsexual guy or homosexual gay or whatever the heck they call themselves.
Absolutely.
He's actually in the school system. He's a teacher, and he was given, these scenarios about what was going on. And I was blown away. I thought they were talking about it, but I didn't know they had actually started it.
Right. They've started.
And I don't know what state he's in, but he said this is already going on in the school systems.
Mhm.
So hide your kids, hide your dogs. That's how I gotta say. Also, he brought up a scenario about being married to a gay person. He's gay. He has his partner. They're gonna get married, and they're gonna adopt a kid, maybe a son, maybe a daughter. And I know we haven't talked much about that, but I guess that's something that we probably should touch on too, about the gay people feeling that it's okay to raise a child inside of a gay home, and then they should come out being not confused about their agenda and that it's okay, because even if they are in a gay community home, it shouldn't make a difference as to what they decide to.
Well, let that be next week's topic. That is a very interesting topic.
Yeah.
And not only that, I would like to add on to that. How do we should add on about the different races that happen to, whether they're heterosexual or they're gay. Do you agree with different races adopting children? You know what I'm saying? Or adopting different races adopting different race children. You know what I'm saying? So we'll talk about that a little bit more, because that's kind of interesting. I have a story to say about that, but I mean, I would start off that I agree that children should be loved, if anything.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So what do you think about?
Somebody else can speak.
I have a question for you. We have another caller on there. Please, thank you for being so patient with us. I just have one more question for her. What do you think about the Pfizer possibly, FDA possibly approving Pfizer to give these slabber jabbers to the babies, to 5 years old and up, to be exact. So 5 years old will start at kindergarten. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think they've already implemented that. I know some countries like Australia, they're actually forcing the kids. They're actually tying the kids down and giving them the injections. They're making the parents lay down. They take the kid and they jab the kid. That's going on in other countries already.
I think Cuba was the first country. Cuba, but go ahead. Yes.
Here they started it. If you allow your kid to be vaccinated, you can have your kid vaccinated. In Florida, there's a city in Florida that I know of for sure. This was about a month ago. They had a community drive where they were giving out gift cards to the parents. If they brought the kid, they got $200. If they came, they got $100, something like that. They got another card for the kids. So the parents were lining their kids up to get the extra card. Every kid, they got an extra card. So it may not have been a 5-year-old, but it definitely was a 12-year-old.
Right.
But there are situations where they have been giving the 5-year-old the injection. That's already happening.
I don't understand this. They never had no money for unemployment. They never had money for unemployment rate. They never had any money for any other issues, prison reforms, police brutality. I mean, they even ask for money for their own soldiers sometimes, to support their soldiers after they've, got PTSD and all that. They even asking us for that. And you mean to tell me they have all this money to give to families to come take this slabber jabber, and that's not a red flag to people? Sister, if you can just hold on, I want to give the other caller a chance. What is your name? Is the other caller on?
Yeah, it was Kay. I don't know if he got off, but he said he couldn't hear.
There's another caller on.
Oh, okay.
Who was the other caller? For some reason, we can't hear you.
Caller, you there?
Yeah, they must have had problems, because at first it sounded like nobody was on. Maybe they'll call back.
Yeah, maybe they'll call back. If you can.
So what I got to say about that kid, though, is that when you talk about whether they have enough money, you got to realize that it's about the budget. They have money, but they only allow so much money for the American people. The rest of it they keep for themselves. And that's when they say budget. When they say budget, the budget is out and all that. That doesn't mean that they don't have money. That means that's beyond all the money that they allow for,
right?
Certain situations. So That's probably what's going on. So when they, the WHO, the the committees have decided that they're going to allow all this money to force people to get into these vaccinations. So they do what they want to do, and it's not even about money anyway. It's about
Nope.
it's computer entry anyway. It's not even their money. It's not even no money. So all of it is computer generated. They're not losing anything. It's all about how they see that, because this is a what they called it, an operation. This is all an experiment. So even when you guys were talking about the fact that they're telling these people at these jobs that they need to take these shots, you got to realize that there's no corporation in this world that can force you to take a medical treatment. They're doing what they allowed to do.
Right.
Whatever you allow them to do, that's what they're doing. So this is an exercise. Every drug that they have is an EUA. So my daughter's friend went to the ER today because she kept feeling bad. Apparently, she took 2 COVID tests. They came back negative. She went because she got a fever of 102. She ran to the ER this time. Apparently, they took the COVID test. It's supposedly positive, right? So they tried to give her. I'm gonna give you the name of the drug, and when you read it, you're gonna understand what's going on. It's called Regen Cove.
Okay.
Regen Cove. So it tells you in the literature, and they give it to you, that this is EUA. This is under emergency use authorization. This happened today, about 3 hours ago.
Another experiment.
So under the drug Regen Cove, it's an experiment. So they tell you that they have no further information on it, just like they do with the vaccine.
What?
The so-called vaccine. They gave her the literature because she refused to take it. She was like, I'm not taking it. So it's the monoclonal drug that they're giving in Florida for experimental use for so-called if you're positive for COVID. So my thing is they can spin it however they want to, make you positive, make you take this monoclonal antibody drug, and it tells you on there that there's no guarantee that you're going to live, that you can actually catch the virus anyway, that you can become sicker, that it could cause you to have, next time you catch COVID, it can cause you to become sicker. It can cause you to have bleeding. It can cause you they give you all the symptoms. And then they say, do you want it? So when people say they took this, they had to do that, you got to remember, slavery is a choice.
That sounds like Kanye to me. Can you please put the name of that medicine in the chat room? The engineer, he wants to engage with the chat. If you can just stay on just a little bit to kind of let people, because a lot of people have a lot to say. They're responding to what you were talking about. So we just want to let them
we just
read some of their stuff.
Yeah, we want to get a little bit of this information out here.
All right, guys.
There's a lot to say in here too.
Yeah, it's a lot. I do apologize, you guys. I know we probably going to address some
for
other
the chat.
things.
I usually get y'all sentiments out there, even though it's on the screen.
So
it's
if y'all
all
want to
good.
write in response to what she was saying, we'll get to it. Y'all can still write.
Yeah. Keep it going. So. While he was saying, if they not male or female, what are they? You know what I'm saying? Afisha said the bots are listening. Crazy Well said they get you looking one way and come the other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy Well says kosher food, kosher life. Afisha says, oh, good. YG says their plan is always to get our children. They just go through the adults first.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying?
Weaken the
and
adults.
Then Crazy World co-signed that. Then Morse for More said the New York State governor and the New York City mayor can kiss where the sun don't shine, and they put that in, and they can put that in their pipe and smoke it.
I like it. Okay.
And then Our sister here, Jay Bay, says, "Hell no, leave the children alone."
Absolutely.
I
Yes.
agree with
Yes.
that.
Yes. We gotta get some T-shirts. This
Then
is.
she says,
Uh-huh.
"The children will surely die. They have already given over 1 millimeter, what's that? 1 m to kids,
Uh-huh.
and they are having heart issues and dying."
This is true. This is true.
You
I've
know what I'm
heard a
saying?
doctor tell me that. Yes.
Shout out, peace to Pasha, peace to Byron,
Peace, Pasha. Peace,
peace
Byron.
to Eugenio,
Okay.
again, peace to Jay, peace to Moors for More, peace to Wiz, peace to YG,
Crazy world.
peace to Crazy World, you know. So
And whoever else we miss, peace
and
to
whoever
you guys.
else comes in, if we miss y'all, my bad. You know. So then after that it says, then Pasha says, peace to Pasha. So little girls go into the bathroom and there's some man lurking in the restroom for hours to abuse girls.
That's dressed
You know
like a
what I'm saying?
female. So here's the thing: there have been certain situations. Sorry to cut your wisdom,
Mhm.
where certain things has happened in the restroom with children, or I think an adult as well, to where this person is, supposed to be a female, or change themselves into female and decides to, you know, harass someone in the bathroom. So it's like, like I stated before, you can have your unisex bathroom, but at this point, it shouldn't, it's like the heterosexual community has been demoted or something like that. There still should be equality and balance. So there should be a male and a female bathroom and a heterosexual, unisex bathroom, right?
Yep.
Don't y'all think that's fair?
Yeah, I mean, because they do have unisex bathrooms for that choice, but then they have a male bathroom and then they have a female bathroom.
They don't once they have the unisex, it's like they take out. Not everywhere has the male and female. They'll just put unisex and then don't have the male and female as an option.
I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right.
I think
because
for the companies,
when
it comes to money, it's easy.
When you got minors, underage children, you know what I mean, going into these bathrooms. Now you have to think about
my child not going to the bathroom.
you got to think about always having an adult to go in, especially with the little girls. You know what I'm saying? With the young girls.
I don't want to say especially with the girls, with the boys as
well.
With
the boys too.
The
with
boys
the boys too.
Listen,
you know what? Let's just keep
we
it.
gotta get that
all
out of
the
our mind.
minors,
A
all
lot
the
of
minors.
boys are being touched too.
Right.
Yes.
Right. That's the whole fact.
A lot of boys are coming out. They're being touched.
We have to start thinking about escorting our children into the bathroom for the purpose of safety.
Female or male, your little boys
Female
as well.
or male.
Don't be
either
like, oh,
one.
you a young man. No,
because a little man, a young boy, is not going to really be able to fight off a grown ass man
or woman. Okay.
Or woman. Yeah.
All right.
Because women be bodybuilding too.
Yes.
We got bodybuilding women out there.
Women
and they
are
strong as hell.
as well. Okay.
They dumb
women
strong.
Women are molesters there's some women molesters as well. We have to even the playing field and just keep it real.
Right.
Antoine Fisher really brought that to light, and a lot of other people. But anyway, I don't want to.
So we definitely got to keep that in effect. Shout out to Solar. Cousin Solar is in the building. Brother Jason is in the building. Shout out to y'all. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And if you want to be able to get in on the serious conversation and go in with us super deep
no censorship
and uncensored, then we do what's called the Sunday Build every Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we talk about whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Just let us know that you were on House of Harlem Studio,
right?
And you want to
send an email. Solar, put your email in the chat so people know where to. They know exactly where to send the request.
Right.
Because once you're on the list, you will get an email for an invitation to the private meeting every single weekend.
So there are some doctors who have gone in the lab and has gotten a vial, that's what you call it, of the Pfizer and the Johnson and Johnson.
It was
Uh,
no, it was Moderna and Johnson and Johnson.
okay, Moderna. Sorry, and what the findings of this is just beyond me.
This shit is, oh
Does the
God.
callers or anybody know anything about that, and can they kind of like elaborate if you can on that? We spoke about the nanoparticles, right? We spoke about whether it was harmful or not. We spoke about the hydrogelly inside of the medicine. We spoke about a couple of things. So what do you guys feel about these doctors are coming out and showing certain things? Do you think that this is false information?
Yeah, the big issue is that there's parasites. So for everybody who don't know, this whole thing is about parasites. Who's more susceptible to obtaining the COVID so-called virus?
Mm-hmm.
It's already within you, or they're injecting it in you with the COVID so-called vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
It has a parasitic-like substance in it,
Mm-hmm.
and the parasites is what
1 minute,
causes
1
you to
minute.
have
We have
the-
another caller. We don't want to have them ringing. Go ahead. Hello, caller. If you can be so patient with us, I appreciate it. We're just gonna let the sister finish off what she was saying about the parasites. Okay, you
okay,
can
no
go.
problem. I was trying to wait till they came on.
My apology. We're just having a.
Oh, no problem.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's so-called have a parasite. I can send you the video that they show where when they looked at it under the microscope, it's a live parasite inside of it. I think I sent you guys that.
Right.
It showed the aluminum, some type of aluminum type parasitic type agent that they put in there.
Okay.
Latches on and causes the total reaction because
That shit look like an alien, but that's neither here nor there.
yeah.
I ain't gonna leave. Like I know she's saying parasite, but this was beyond me.
Yo, on some real shit,
It
that shit look like, if anybody knows what, if anybody is on Netflix and watch Another Life, it looked like the little insect that goes into people's brains. That shit look just like that, yo.
Yeah.
So
You saw
we have
how
to
it
talk
was
about
attaching to
deworming
one another?
ourselves. Mm-hmm.
You saw how it was attaching to each other and forming like this parasite, parasitic like substance in your body, and that was under a couple of doctors that actually, so-called reviewed that once they got the injection.
Wow.
So-
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about some remedies. Well, number one remedy is you have to question whether or not you want to take it at all. But we have to really make sure that we protect ourselves and eat healthy, deworm yourself. Even if you didn't eat healthy, make sure you constantly flushing your system out. Do whatever you be the time. Is there another caller online? Hello? Okay, for some reason. I do
So
apologize.
while they're coming on, let me ask though, kids. So if this is so deadly, right?
Mm-hmm.
This has been deadly since 2019, right?
Right?
It's so deadly, right?
Yes.
So the young lady who went to the ER today, she took literally 3 tests back to back.
Right?
Apparently, when you go to the hospital, apparently it's positive, right? Because
Right.
I guess they spin it just right. So apparently she's positive, but my point is, what I'm trying to make, and I don't know if people are using their common sense, if this is so deadly, why are they sending her back home? It's about 6 people live in the house with her. There's no level of concern here. You have to look at what's on the table, because if it was so deadly, wouldn't she be quarantined? Wouldn't they keep her? Last time I checked, if I went to the hospital and I had active TB, tuberculosis.
Okay.
They would not let me back in the public. They will keep me in the hospital because that is a communicable disease. I'm,
Uh,
I'm
the brother.
I keep saying that I'm in the medical profession, and I'm so dumbfounded as to what's going on with this COVID thing that it's just blowing my mind. That
It is.
I keep trying to get it into the heads of the people that I'm around, and
Right.
look at the picture. I'm trying to tell you what's going on.
I
It's
I
never in the
concur.
history of this whole so-called disease process or whatever the heck they got going on. Never in history do you have a disease that is so deadly that you got to have a shot for. You can't go to work. You can't go outside. You can't go nowhere. You can't do nothing. But you can leave the hospital after you test positive. I'm confused.
Right, and not only that, I'm surprised. I'm hearing if you have a fever, the name of the parasite that he put up there. Shout out to Eugenio. I'm blind, you guys. Please forgive me. And there was someone who called. We're gonna call that person back. There was someone calling in. But can you read the name of the parasite?
He says it's the name of it is Magellan.
Magellan. So that's the name of the parasite. You guys, y'all, you can look that up. You can hit Eugenio up on Facebook or Instagram, and he can give you. Hopefully, he can give you some more information on that because I've never heard of.
Well, the Magellan is what you get from the mask. They determined that the mask, the blue mask, any of those masks.
She said the mask
have been placed under the mask.
Okay.
The ones they're telling you all that protect you. Those that's a lie. I said what it says, the results say that's a lie. But the Magellan doesn't. I mean, the mask doesn't protect you from anything. By the way.
Okay.
But the Magellans they've been said that they were inside the mask. They've had videos. People have tested it, and yeah. So that the Magellan, I'm not sure if that's what's in the vaccine. The video that I sent you guys.
Right.
I don't think that's what's in it, but I'll double check. I didn't check the name of it. I mean, it was just enough for me to know that it had parasites in it because there's been big conversation about parasites.
I've heard about the parasites. A
coronavirus.
lot of homeopathic.
So just pay attention to that. That's out there. You can say you heard it first here. But yeah, pay attention to what's going on with the
great information.
with the
Oh
parasites.
man, great information. That is listen, man. You guys heard it. House of Harlem Studio. Them parasites, man. Get them worms out. Different type of parasite. There was another caller that was on or was trying to call in. Can you please give them a call back? If you want to hang on, sis, I appreciate it. If not, it is what it is. We're gonna close out. I want to speak about the banks having a report to IRS with your money, but that's not the hill.
Close on that COVID. You see, there's a DeSantis, Florida governor, just did a press conference about what the Democratic and the Biden administration is doing to the people. He has actually spoke out against vaccinating the kids. He spoke out against suing, and he has recommended that every parent that have a kid in school, middle school, or that he is recommend that he has a sue for one of these corporations. I can't remember if it's one of these alphabet people. I can't remember, but he said they sued, they lost, but he went back again because of some loophole or whatever they have there. But he is recommending that all the parents fight against this tyranny.
Hold on 1 minute. Hold on.
How the economy in Florida is booming. How he's trying to get the ports open so that people can get whatever they need from Florida. So he's really behind the American people having freedom.
Okay.
He talks about freedom. He talks about the Constitution.
Right.
So this last thing that he did is very educational, very telling us what's going on. He is definitely on our side, and I think everybody should listen to it. I don't know if I can. I'm gonna see if I can put it in the chat for everybody to listen to. I think it's worthwhile.
All right, put it in the chat, but we can always talk about it in the private on our private platform. It's called the Sunday Build. If you put your email in the chat, or when this live stops, you can put your email in a comment box, and we definitely will shoot you out an email.
But
We
what
just
I'm gonna do also is I'm going to put cousin Solar's information into the chat because he sent me the email, so I'm going to put it into the chat so everybody can anybody that's looking to get on can get on there.
right. What is that platform for? What are the topics? I know we have
talk
survival
about
skills.
commerce, we talk about commerce, we talk about current events, and we talk about freedom. You know what I'm saying?
But do you also give remedy for certain situations, like if you have child support, if you have a traffic ticket? Do you speak about certain
we
remedies?
we speak about remedies that we all get and we learn from our brother Jonah Bay, and we also do live research, on the spot research, and
That
everyone
can give you remedy, right?
right to provide everyone with remedy because
Where's Jonah? You need Jonah back on.
you know what?
Give
I
Jonah
spoke
a
to
phone
him and told him we want to get him back on there. So
Right.
he's down for it whenever we can kind of put it into motion.
Yeah.
We'll
We
get
need
him back on there. So,
Yeah. So we are remedy. I'm big on remedy. Also, a lot is going to be happening. I'll call it the inflation. We want to speak about survival mechanisms. Sometimes people just feel we want to talk about religious exemptions, although they say they will not accept it. We can talk about that and give you some guidance on some real remedy, because it is happening and people are getting it granted as we speak. Some people are not, some people are. We can learn from the people who were successful, so we can kind of piggyback off of that, although you have to create that in your own. On the line, do we have another caller? So once again, when this live ends, you're going to have to put your email in the comment section below.
Byron, you still on?
Okay, so it's by.
Hold on. Let's get Byron back.
Yeah, I apologize. There's a couple of people calling in. I do apologize, you guys. We'll try to hit you up before we end. I don't know if I'll get the opportunity to speak about the banks. There's a battle under the Biden's administration to know more about what's in your bank accounts, and how that's going to be possible is that the banks will have to report to IRS if you have a certain amount or more. Very interesting, but if I have the opportunity, I'll read more about that from the Forbes news outlet. Okay, so just real quick, while he's getting the callers on the line, and I hope he's not going to talk loud so people can hear his conversation in the background. President Biden announced that the American Families Plan today, which is designed to grow the middle class and expand benefits of economic growth to all Americans. And the American Family Plans include a lot to like, or excuse me, I'm chewing gum, no matter what side of the aisle you are on. By any measure, the amount of benefits being proposed is staggering, which begs the question, how will we pay for all of this? By increasing IRS enforcement. By increasing the reporting obligations. You have to report what you have for financial institutes. And by raising taxes on the wealthy. I doubt that. They're going to be raising taxes on the poor. Each aspect of the plan is worthy of its own column, and that the column will focus what a senior administration official called one of the significant steps designed to make sure that taxpayers are paying the taxes they are already owed. Increased reporting obligations for financial institutions. So simply put, the American Families Plan calls for a bank and other financial institutes to report more than just a taxpayer's interest earned, right? Its capital gains and losses. Banks and other financial institutes would also be required to report aggregate account overflows and inflows. In other words, the IRS, I was about to say whatever that means, the IRS is in the account in any given year, and how much was transferred in and out of the account. It is unclear how this would work, but what is clear is that this new reporting obligation will create a massive compliance effort on the part of financial institutes and eliminate a massive blind spot that the IRS is currently enduring. Whew, where do I even begin? I'm not going to even proceed with reading any of that right there. That is completely beyond me. Okay, I predict that people are going to draw their money out. Okay, and that's going to be another way. Listen, we're resilient. You know, we've been doing this. That's how we create. So you put us up in the corner. That's what's going on. Is there a caller on the line? Peace. How are you doing, Byron? Okay.
Put this in her body. She actually started to cry as she was, watching slide after this was in the injection. So it's a scary situation.
She said we can't hear him.
And it was shocking. Brought up was how it looked like on a TV show that connects to your brain. I was like, damn, it's a scary world that's coming. And I agree. This common sense is that they push me so hard. There must be another hit.
So, if you guys want to know that video, once again, you can send out your email. That is Dr. Carey, who is a credible virologist who did analyze that whatever is inside of those slabber jabbers. And yes, those parasites are real. They're very, very real. They're very different from any other parasites. What is it? It collects data or puts data into your cells, into your cells. They claim not your DNA. She started crying for the second not the second rollout, but she started crying when she got the Johnson and Johnson. The second test, right? The second look in. The reason why she started crying was because we were under the impression that Johnson and Johnson slabber jabber was made the traditional way, where you just take the virus and take all the other incentives and put it in there, right? But to her findings, it was nothing different from the Moderna, okay? And so not only is she like never seen this before and this is her field, this is what she do, but in addition to that, she stated that we were lied to. Meaning, oh, Johnson & Johnson is different. You only have to take one dose. No, the same thing that's in Moderna, the same reaction, the same parasite, the same way, it is in, according to her, allegedly, it is inside of the Johnson & Johnson. So that is what just blew her over the top. She just started crying, very emotional for her, and that's all I gotta say.
Now, for purposes of hold on.
Allegedly, this is all alleged.
For purposes of the community guidelines here on this platform, we do not. We're not here to persuade or convince you. Either way, it's your decision and
your choice.
Your choice to do it. We're not here to convince you to take it or to not take it. We are just here to present information and entertain you by way of the current events that proceed.
Yes, that is our disclaimer, and we have to say that on this platform. Now, if you want to be more open, I know there are going to be people that's going to watch this video later on, and you want to be open without being censored, We do have a private platform. We will. You will have to go.
Uh,
Well, when we will have
I
that
think I
not on
think
the
there's going
chat,
to
but
be
we
a
have to put
I,
it in the
I think
description
there's going to
box.
be an uproar once they start giving it to the children, and they have very severe adverse reactions to it because parents don't think about their children, particularly if it's something that they're making them do. These are kids start dying or having.
Hold on 1 minute. I'm so sorry to cut your
hold
wisdom.
on 1 second.
Go ahead. Press. Okay, whoever the okay. Who? Oh, I'm okay. Um, everyone can hear that live. Okay. Well, look at them. You have to take that off mute. Okay, so basically, Byron, we're gonna put Byron back on, but this is he's gonna talk about the children. But I do want to say that there are several children with several there are hundreds of children that have whose parents did give them the slabber jabber, and they are having complications now. I don't know if anyone has ascended from it, but I know that one of the heart conditions is one of them, and blood clots is another. There was one or two parents who did, put in a complaint in regards to their children could never really walk or talk again, whatever reaction that they had. But once again, you did it for yourself. It's okay. I mean, are you willing to really take that chance for your children? It's just a question that we want to know. We're not convincing you in any way, shape, or form not to do it or to do it. We're just letting you know, like, look, it's up for you. You should at least do your research. Definitely do your research and find out what's going on. I really do appreciate everyone giving their input in regards to this. It's unfortunate that we cannot be as vocal as we want to be because the so-called community guidelines. All right, can you please put him back on? All right, we're here. You can continue where you left off from.
Having adverse reaction because if they do something when my child was small, they do something that hurt my child, everybody get hurt. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
Now it's a war. So I think
We gotta be mindful of these words. Those words like that H word you use. I'm telling you, these people are ruthless. But go ahead.
Yeah, like once you start hurting the children and parents, because children are connected to grandparents, aunts, uncles, sisters, but it's going to be an uproar, especially the little 5-year-old. Are you kidding me? So it's going to be insane if people want to react. So,
well, it's happening already. Here in the States.
Yeah.
It's already happening. And outside of the States, I believe Cuba was the first rollout for infants, not even children, but infants. You guys could definitely do your research and look that up. They've agreed to that, which is very interesting to me because since the beginning of time, Cuba was kind of like closed. They were sanctioned by, we sanctioned them for so many other things, and they were surviving. And once they became open for whatever, treaty or whatever agreements they made with the government over here, it's like they're the first to roll out with all of these mandates. It's very interesting to me. But it's already happening. Children are having heart inflammation. I know that's like one of the major things, especially for the teenagers. They're having a lot of heart inflammation, and it's just unfortunate because this is a fact. This is definitely a fact, and I've had a doctor personally speak to me about this, a cardiologist. So it is happening, along with adults. So yes, there is going to be an issue And I predict, and you guys give me a prediction before we go off. Can y'all give me a prediction of what's going to happen with the fire department? Give me a prediction what's going to happen with the new mandates for the children that they're going to try to roll out and kind of enforce and have in place for the parents to pressure the parents to do this for their child. Like, what is your predictions? Byron, what is your prediction?
But yeah, I think once concerning the fire department, once they, let's say if they miss a fire and people start dying, those firefighters who have been laid off or fired, they are going to make noise in a newspaper saying that death could have been prevented. It could have been your child, your mother, your sister, your brother.
Okay.
Then people, hopefully, people start waking up that this is ridiculous.
It's so, man. And I feel like I want to make some T-shirts. Save our babies, man. But that's neither here nor there. Stay tuned for me, man. I'm for it, cause right now, I mean, we've already opened Pandora's box by allowing these people to just do whatever. But now they're very interesting. What's popping up on my phone? They're listening to my conversation, but now they are, getting to the little ones, and it's just so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. They stated in the very beginning the likelihood of the children getting really ill or having any issues from this, and now all of a sudden you're fighting hard for a rollout to have this with these babies. And a lot of people, I will state this, are using the vaccines that some of us might have taken in the past, like the hepatitis, like the polio, as an excuse to say, well, you took those vaccines, what's the problem with this one? Huh? Do you have did you not hear what they just said? That this is totally different? I mean, I'm not understanding that. I don't quite comprehend why you don't comprehend that they said this is it's never been done before. AKA an experiment. AKA you're a guinea pig. You know what? And guess what? If we get censored for it, I don't even give a crap right now. I really don't. But anyway, is there anything else you want to say, Byron?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, no, I just wanted to know if you wanted to say anything, because it really just, I'm very passionate about that.
Stand,
Okay, thank you.
Stand by real quick. Yo, Mo, you trying to chime in on the show?
Shaka, you have to mute. No, you gotta click over. Okay, J Bay is on.
Oh yeah, I was dropped, so I was trying to.
Okay. Well, you
Now,
can have
the
the
funny-
final words.
Yeah,
because we're
but
gonna
real
end
quick,
up.
before you say that, I'm glad you brought it into the chat for everybody that don't know. Facebook is actively changing their name to the metaverse. You know what I'm saying?
Why is
So,
that? Because of this last hearings that they had with the whistleblower, and the government wants to take over Facebook so that it can be complete censorship, although they've complied as much as they could with the government, and now they want full control of it because they don't want anyone speaking about anything in regards to any opposition with this slabber jabber. Is that the reason why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was a
I
it was
can't
all
even-
a setup.
I can't even reply like
But
that.
it was all a setup because that's why they got everybody all interested in Facebook, all dived into it. So now what they're getting ready to do is they're getting ready to hook everything together. So you're almost like they're trying to do one government. This is one. This is tapping you into the one world government. So you're gonna have to make a choice. This is where we at right now. If you don't see what's going on,
There's no running from this one. There's no
Yeah,
running from this one.
It's called Metaverse. Just think about it. Even if you watch like Lightning, the MetaHumans, Metaverse, this is about metaphysical reality. And it says, it is described as a collective virtual and physical universe. We should care about this because it is fundamentally changing how we interact in technology and each other. Oh, this is it right here.
You best to believe this is it.
My hat's off to you.
Indirectly or no matter what it is, whether you choose to just try to ignore it, you're making a choice. This one you cannot run from, you cannot hide. We want to do closing. What do you want to who are you going to ask to give any final words? I see Waji had wrote something up there. Can you read just the last little bit of snippets? And sorry for the call in and my engineer having side combos that I'm pretty sure is going to be on the video. He thinks it's not, but that's a whole nother. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah, I apologize for that. Going back to we spoke about the parasites. Eugenio said it's in the swabs. Cousin Sola said drink pine needle tea.
Okay, before you go there, we have to revisit those swabs because they have another way of testing that is much more easier, but everywhere is choosing to use these swabs that are more hurtful and can be more damaging to the membranes in your nostril and for even babies and children and adults. So it's very interesting, but let's continue. I don't want to dig too deep into that.
All right, well, yeah, there is another test using the saliva.
But that is supposed to be more effective. No, but even when you bring it to their attention, they say no. Whole nother story, whole nother topic. All right, what's going on?
That's just crazy. All right, my bad.
All by design.
All right, yeah, all by design, all by design. So now, you talked about the Regen Cove. That's what we talked about earlier.
Look that up.
Then Sola said drink pine needle tea to handle parasites. So that's something you want to look up and Google pine needle tea.
All right.
Then Eugenio was talking about everyone needs to switch to a business account.
Right. And I was
Jay
going to say
said
something.
All shots will require a booster, and then we went into the thing. YG said some people are so simple,
Simple-minded.
Simple-minded, simpletons. You know what I mean?
Simpleology,
simple assholes. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to call it, and definitely do some research on the swabs.
Watch, you used to make a T-shirt. The simple people
in them.
XXX.
Shout out to Jerry Hubcap. It's better late than never, but we appreciate you coming on. When you check out the show, you're going to see it being very interesting. We got a lot of information now. Had a very, very productive and very, very great discussion with our panel. And,
I want you guys to
get
put
in a little earlier.
The comment section after this live and put what is your craft, what do you do, and how can people reach you. This is like a network platform, so make sure that you guys do that. There's a lot of people who are nurses, carpenters, whatever people who have clothing lines. Put your information in the comment section below, because I'm telling you, we are going to have to go into the barter system sooner than later, and we're going to have to practice the group economics. So this is the time, the little short window period that we have utilize it. Okay. Now, if you want to go on a platform, a more private platform, to get into some real stuff, to get some real remedy, and link up with some real people, put your email in the comment section, because this chat, you won't be able to do that. Okay. So,
Jerry Hubcap said, not taking the slabber jab.
don't you take that goddamn slab jab.
Don't you take that goddamn slabber.
Once again, we have to just keep doing these disclaimers as much as possible, so the bots don't pick up on no craziness or misinformation, right? Fact checkers and all this other craziness. We have to be very, extremely careful on this platform in regards to our words we say, not only on that side of things, but we got totally cut off because they said we were what? Bullying, or what was the verbiage used, and we're still right now
we were
in
harassing.
harassment. So we're still in the appeals process to this day, which has been months. No response, nothing for harassment. So we have to use our words very, very careful on this platform. I want to thank everyone for coming in, chiming in, man. I could be here for forever, especially when we start talking about the babies. But we have to end this, and we'll be back up again.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back. And,
I'll shut up, but I'll be back again.
We will be back again.
Like Craig said.
Like Craig and them said.
Like Craig and them.
So, but on behalf of the hostess with the mostest, Goddess Kia.
Peace.
On behalf of the co-host Waji, holding down the chat. On behalf of all of you guys that chimed in, that participated and gave your free speech. Exactly, you gave your free speech, which is free. It don't cost a damn thing.
Free censored speech, but that's
you know what I'm saying. Shout out to everybody. We out of here. We'll see y'all on Sunday on the build where we can really get it in and just, I'm a man, so I let my nuts swing. You know what I'm saying? I throw them over my shoulder so they don't drag on the ground. I throw my nuts over my shoulder so they don't drag on the ground, y'all.
Ladies, do that sound sexy to you?
So that's how we doing it on Sunday.
Y'all doing it? Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And on the lighter side, we got something for you. We got something for you.
Please. And no discrimination at all this video.
This is no discrimination.
To any community.
To any community
this
or
is
any
hilarious.
Any
he always got some craziness.
Any kind of people. You know what I'm saying? We love everybody.
That's right.
But
the deaf,
you
the
put
blind,
it in a public forum.
LGBTQ.
When you put it in a public forum,
it's public.
It's public, and I might see it.
Oh boy!
So,
stay tuned, guys.
Here we go.
He is something else.